Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm just gonna explain a real-time streaming which I'm trying to implement on my own data analytics platform, which I am planning to build. Actually, not planning, I have already started building it, but I'm facing a small challenge in just integrating a real-time streaming on this platform. So what I thought is, first I'll just show you what exactly I'm trying to do with the real-time streaming with the working demo. And then I'll just show you the error which I am getting, which I'm trying to solve. And once that is solved, then this data analytics platform can be used not only for the batch processing, but for the real-time streaming as well. So what do we need to do a real-time stream? This is what the flow looks like. We have an event producer. So we have a Python code which actually generates the event and put it on Kafka. Then the Flinks comes into the picture, which actually help us to aggregate the data from the Kafka topic in a real time as the data comes to the Kafka. Flinks automatically consume that, aggregate based on the window I have given, and then just put it back to the Kafka. And from there, we're gonna consume that data to the DruID, which is going to help us to expedite or to increase the performance super fast so that whatever the data is being consumed by the DruID can be consumed by the Superset to just generate all the dashboards on the inside which we need for the real-time streaming. So the scenario I just picked is a user event on any given website. So let me quickly show you the Flink dashboard. So here I have just submit a one job. What it does is it actually does the same thing which I just explained over here. It's consume the data from the Kafka topic, do the aggregation and put it back into the Kafka, right? So how we can do that, right? So for that, what I'm using a Flink SQL, right? So this is the first SQL which I just triggered. What it does in Flink, if you just look at this, it is going to create a user event source. And here at the end, you can see the Kafka connection, right? Here I am saying connector is Kafka type. Which topic? User events. This is the bootstrap server for the Kafka. Group ID, format, and this, right? And then whatever, the information and the events being published to this Kafka topic, Flink is automatically going to consume it and start creating this table based on this field type. So from where we are getting all these things, let's quickly see that. Okay, so this is what the user events we are getting. So let me just quickly close them. So here you can see these are the different events, which are actually being pushed to the Kafka topic. How it is being published? So we have this Kafka event producer. This is the main program where we are generating a event producer, and then we are calling this the start continuous stream. So what is happening in a start continuous stream is it is just getting into the infinite loop, right? Depending upon what duration we have given. And then it start generating a user events, and we have a sales transaction events as well as a click stream events, but we are going to focus on this for today's. So if you just see this method, what we are doing, we have 4 different variables with list event types where we are saying page view, button click, form submit, product view, add to cart, purchase, all those kind of stuff. Then the pages. So these are the thing which is randomly being selected over here to just generate the event. If you just look at all the fields which we have, it is the same field what we are trying to use over here in a Flink site. The only change which we have here is related to this watermark, right? So what we are saying is how we want to aggregate the data, right? This is what is happening. So we have already kicked off this, and we can quickly see again, we are getting a continuously events, which are being thrown to the Kafka with a very good rate. And then automatically Flink consume that. And that is where the feature of Flink shines. We don't have to do anything. All we need to do is to just set up these SQLs, right? So this is my input where Kafka is Kafka topic, events will be consumed and put it here. And then it is going to create another table where the aggregation will happen based on what we want, and then it is going to give back that aggregated data to the Kafka. And now here the actual thing is happening where it's just doing all the aggregations, right? So here you can see we have this tumble start and tumble end, with the interval of 1 minute, and what kind of data we want to generate. So here you can see event type, device, page, and a country, and then we have these aggregations. We have a count star, count star, distinct user ID, session ID, duration seconds, max, min, and sum. And these are the values going back to the Kafka, in which Kafka topic users events integrated, right? So we have to execute this. Once you just execute these three queries, in a Flink SQL, you will get a new job trigger on a Flink. This is how it looks like. So we can quickly see here, we can come down here and we can see the real-time progress. We can see the events, users, basically the user event source, the same thing which we have, which I just showed you with the Flink SQL. Then we have this aggregation where we can see the watermark which keeps changing. It means data is flowing, right? So this is what, the data is being coming to the user events. And same thing we can see whether Flink job is putting a data into the aggregate user events or not, right? So here you can see, we can see this, right? So this is what the output which Flink is actually generating to the corresponding events, right? So here we have this events with the different fields, and then this is how the aggregated data looks like. We have a window start, then we have a window end. Here you can see the 1 minute difference, 455, and then we have a 456. Then we are seeing event type search, device desktop, page is checkout, country UK, event type 2, event count, unique users, unique session, and average duration. And this is how we are aggregating in a 1 minute window. These are the fields which we are generating. So now we got, the user events in a Kafka topic. Then Flink job comes into the picture, does the aggregated and put it back to the another topic, which is user events aggregate. The next thing which we need to do is, now we have a data in Kafka again, but that is aggregated data, and that is where we're gonna use a Apache DruID, which is going to help us to keep consuming the data what Flink is putting in a Kafka topic in an aggregated manner, and then DruID is going to generate that and make it available for the Superset, right? So Superset is just we are using as a visualization tool, which is a completely a very powerful tool to replace Power BI Looker kind of a tool. So we're gonna go to the load data in a DruID, select Apache Kafka, right? And here we have to just provide the spec, which is a specific, configurations which you need to provide, right? So we want to consume the data, right, from a Kafka topic. And let me just quickly copy this entire thing and put it over here. You can read through the DruID documentation. I know this configuration looks a little scary in the beginning, but if you will start seeing this piece by piece, then you will understand it's not that complicated, right? So this is what the Kafka string is. So where the Kafka lies, and then which topic data needs to be picked up. So here we are using a user events aggregated. It's the same topic where Flink job is keep aggregating a data in a real time. So we have a data scheme and all those kind of stuff. It's just making all the fields available for us, right? And let's quickly submit this. Once we do this, right, we can see here this aggregated Kafka, we can see it's pending. Here we can start seeing a data once the data is coming into the DruID, right? And we can quickly see the task, it's in running state. Provides it's running state, we should start seeing some segment over here. So we can see 1,000 records now. So what does it mean? It means that whatever the data Flink is putting back into the Kafka topic, which is user events aggregated, now it is being consumed into the DruID. And now we will do the actual magic where we are going to generate some dashboards on a superset. This is what the superset looks like. So all these tools, Kafka is open source, Flink is open source, DruID is open source, and our superset is also open source too. So I have not even spent a single penny because all these things are open source tool, and I'm just setting up all these things with the Docker Compose, right? So the very first thing which you have to do, in a superset to bring the data set. So just to get the data set, you have to create the database, right? So basically from where you want to get the data, right? So let's quickly create that. Here you can come and you can choose Apache DruID. And here you have to pass the information, related to your DruID. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna simply choose this, and you can use the router as well if you want, and you can quickly check the connection. This looks good, and we can simply check with the router as well if you want to. So let's quickly do this. Let's quickly do the connection. This looks good. Let's get connected. So now we have connected to the Apache DruID. So basically now whatever the data we have in a DruID, it's going to be available for us. How we can do that? Let's quickly create the chart. Just to create the chart, we need a data set first. So we have to choose the data set. So basically what we need is we need to first create the data set one more time. Let's quickly pick. Now this connection is available for us in a database. And now we can see DruID over here. And then we have all the topics which are there in this DruID based on the configuration we have provided, right? So in DruID, right? So now we can quickly pick this one. So now we can see all those fields which are there in a user events topic. We have underscore time, event type, device, total event count, all those type. Same fields what we got here in a aggregated, right? Total duration and all those stuff. And we did some massaging and all those kind of stuff. So we have this here, right? Okay. Now what we need to do, we can create and explore the data, right? So we got this data set and now we just wanted to create, let's create a pie chart to start with. Okay. Create a new chart. If you are familiar with the Power BI, you can understand all those kind of stuff. We can simply say dimension is device, cool. And we can simply say unique users, cool. Let's quickly do this. Keep it save. We hit chart. Okay, so now we can see this chart like for mobile, how many users are there for the mobile? Then how many desktop users and how many tablet users, right? Now we can save this. Cool. We can simply say, even say events, links, usage. Okay. And then we can create a dashboard. We don't have any dashboard for now. We can simply save it. Okay. And then we can come here and we can create a new dashboard. Okay. Create a new chart. No, what we can do, we can simply use this one, edit the dashboard, and we can just choose over here, and we can simply say data analytics. Okay, cool. So this is done. We can quickly save it. And if we want, we can create few more charts. Let's quickly come here. Events by device type we have created, sales aggregation, top product. What we can create now, maybe we can create this geographic distribution, which I love. So we can create another chart. We can search for a world map. Cool. We can select the data set same, aggregated. We can create now. What all things we can choose. We can entity is country. We can simply country over here. Then we get the total unique users. Okay, matrix. Sum. We can simply say create chart. Now we can see this look for very awesome chart. We can quickly put the name over here, geographic distribution, world map. Okay, so this looks good. We can simply save it. Geographic distribution, we can choose the same dashboard which we have just created now. Okay, we can simply say save and go to dashboard. Okay, now we can see this graph as well, right? So now this is how the end-to-end real-time streaming works, where your Kafka topic is getting a continuous data for the user events, and then you just aggregate the data with the help of a Flink, which is a powerful tool designed specifically for a streaming platform like Kafka, RabbitMQ, and AWS Kinesis kind of a platform. It does aggregation in a real time, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to write your own complicated logic. Flink actually does that. And then whatever the aggregated data you have, you just put it back into the Kafka, and then Apache DruID comes into the picture. Just provide that data to the Superset, and Superset can immediately start seeing this data, and you can see the real time value getting changed for all these dashboards, right? So this is what the end-to-end process looks like in real-time analytics platform. And I have this streaming, but the problem I'm getting when I'm submitting a Flink job, whatever the manual SQLs I'm firing over here, it seems like there is a problem with, the statement which I'm generating dynamically for these tables structure, and that seems to be the problem. And I'm still trying to figure it out. How can I fix it? Once that is done, then whatever the manual process I showed you, that I don't have to do that. This platform is going to do it, and which is pretty much going to help me to not use Databricks or a Snowflake or a Fabric kind of costly platform. We can use our own data analytics platform, which is just built over all the open source tool like Kafka, Flink, DruID, Apache Iceberg, Superset, right, which are very, very powerful open source too. Okay, so that's it from my side for this particular video. If you have any feedback or suggestion, if you want me to explain the detailed implementation of this, just let me know in a comment section. I would love to share the end-to-end implementation of this platform and how it can help us to save a lot of money, at least in a development environment. And then once we are done with end-to-end thing, probably if we feel that this platform is not good enough, then definitely we can go for the Databricks or Fabric kind of a data analytics platform to save some money, right? And you will also learn a lot of things, which these Databricks, Fabric, and Snowflake encapsulate for us. And we do not get that kind of insight or the nitty-gritty. So if you have that curious mind where you want to understand all those kind of stuff, then this kind of implementation really helps to understand what goes inside these complicated data analytics platform. Okay, so that's it from my side for this particular video. If you have any feedback, suggestion, please feel free to put that into the comment section, and I would love to respond to your query. And if there is a suggestion to improve our videos, probably I will do that in my upcoming videos. And as always, thanks for watching this. Stay healthy and keep learning new things.